guys, it's Lisa, and today, as you can tell from the title, this is my bookshelf tour part 1, okay? The reason why it's part 1 is because I own a lot of books, and I try to go as quickly as possible. So I am going to go ahead and break it up into parts. You guys are going to go ahead and see every book that is on this shelf behind me from floor to ceiling is what you guys are going to go ahead and see. And then in part 2, you're going to go ahead and see the books on my entertainment center and the shelf that I have on the other side of the room. And yeah, just because it's already a very long video as it is, can you guys imagine if I put it together? It would be like a 2-hour movie or something of just books, and I didn't want to take up all of your guys' time. Just a couple things I want to go ahead and point out, because I know I mentioned them sometime during the video. I just want to kind of give you a heads up from the very beginning. My shelves have no rhyme or reason to them. The majority of what I do is anything that's part of a series stays together. So sometimes you'll see something from, like, let's say PC Cast and Kristen Cast together, and then you might see things of like a PC Cast on a different shelf or something like that. It's just that those series kind of go together, and also where I could make room to insert them. Another thing that I noticed while I was shooting this bookshelf tour is that I went ahead and stacked them from the biggest number down. So for example, if there's 6 books and it goes 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, I have no idea why I did that. So I tried to amend that when I was showing you guys the books so that they can be in the right order, but not all of them, not all the video came out that way. So I just kind of want to warn you. I know I mentioned it sometime during the video, I just don't know at what point. So that's why I'm telling you now. So again, this is going to be a long video, so go get your popcorn or your little snack so that you guys can enjoy and see all the books that I own. I hope you guys enjoy it. So what I'm going to go ahead and do first is I'm going to go ahead and give you an overview of my shelves so that you guys can go ahead and see. This bookshelf is the one that you guys usually see in my videos. It is a floor to my ceiling, and they are double shelves. So what you see here, there are other books and back of it, and there's also other little like knickknacks that I have, things that I didn't know where to put them, and so they're on my bookshelf until further notice. There is a variety of books and stuff. At the very top are where books go to die. Just kidding. Maybe. I really honestly don't know what's in back of those books except for what's kind of showing there, but we'll get to the good stuff in a bit. But this is the bookshelf here. As you can see, all the way to the bottom. And then I'm going to go to my left. And over here I have, this is my entertainment center part of it, and that has a lot of mass product paperbacks and Sephora bag and some photos and my little Android speaker and a little snowflake I got last year that I still have not put a photo in. And there is another row in back of the picture. There's like 2 rows of like paperbacks, but you guys will see. And then next to it, I do have another little cupboard here that has knickknacks and some Chila and my contacts and stuff like that. So yes, I am now going to my last bookshelf that I have in my room. And this bookshelf is my very first one that my uncle built for me a couple years ago. It is hanging on the wall. There is like a, I don't know what to call it, a chest I guess, and it has my jeans and bags and stuff. So sorry for the mess. Don't judge, please. But it is on the wall, and it's 5 shelves full of stuff, mostly books. There is some knickknacks. Yeah. And then it is all the way to the ceiling again. There are also some junk at the top, but you guys will go ahead and see all of that later on. These are all just one shelf. There's nothing in back of them. It's just those books that are there. Now I'm going to go ahead and get into showing you each book individually. And I'm going to start off with the first shelf that I showed you guys. Okay, so I am going to start at the very top because I do need to stand on a stool so that you guys can go ahead and see what's up here. And then I'll work my way down. I'm sorry if the lighting is going to go ahead and fluctuate. I am only one person and I'm sorry. So yeah. First book is Wicked, Witch and Curse by Nancy Holder and Debbie Vigui. Wicked 2, Legacy and Spellbound by Nancy Holder and Debbie Vigui. Wicked Resurrection by Nancy Holder and Debbie Vigui. A Clockwork Orange by Anthony Burgess. Forever Changes by Brendan Halpine. There are books back there, but I can't really see them or reach them. I think that is Pretend You Don't See Her by Mary Higgins Clark. Divine Secrets of the Yaya Sisterhood. Sex and the City. An anthology. And Wicked Lovely by Melissa Marr and The Notebook by Nicholas Sparks. Onto this side, I have The Knights of the Solstice by L.J. Smith, Blood and Chocolate by Annette Curtis Klaus, The Devil's Redhead by David Corbett, Dairy Queen by Catherine Gilbert Murdoch, Something Borrowed by Emily Giffen, Something Blue by Emily Giffen, and I don't know what's back here, Little Earthquakes by Jennifer Weiner, On Fifth Avenue by Candace Bushnell, The Dante Club, Lovely Bones, and A Cry in the Night by Mary Higgins Clark, Moon Tiger by Penelope Lavelli, maybe? Falcon Dance by Amelia Atwater Rhodes. There is a cupcake that was given to me. Night in Rodaneth by Nicholas Sparks. At First Sight by Nicholas Sparks. True Believer by Nicholas Sparks. Message in a Bottle by Nicholas Sparks. The Rescue by Nicholas Sparks. And then back here I have, A Walk to Remember by Nicholas Sparks. The Bridge of Madison County. Blessed Child by Ted Decker and Bill Bright. The Deep End of the Ocean by Jacqueline Chard. Lipstick Jungle by Candace Bushnell. Mary Higgins Clark, Let Me Call You Sweetheart. On to the second shelf. And I don't think I mentioned, there is no rhyme or reason to my shelves. I just try to keep everything that is like a series together, and that's about it. So here I have some posters. One is the Vampire Academy poster, and the other one is a Twilight poster. First book is Twilight by Stephanie Meyer. New Moon, Eclipse, Breaking Dawn, The Twilight Saga, The Official Illustrated Guide by Stephanie Meyer. The Host by Stephanie Meyer. Intertwined by Jenna Showalter. This is the first book in the Intertwined saga. Unraveled by Jenna Showalter. Twisted by Jenna Showalter. This is book 3. Blue Bloods, Keys to the Repository by Melissa de la Cruz. This is a novella part of the Blue Blood series. Bloody Valentine by Melissa de la Cruz. This is also a novella part of the Blue Blood series. Dragon's Oath by PC Cast and Kristen Cast. This is part of the House of Night. These are the novellas, or this is a novella, I should say. Lenobia's Vows by PC Cast and Kristen Cast. Nevert's Curse by PC Cast and Kristen Cast. Touch by Francine Prose. And I have Bitter Blood by Rachel Kane. This is part of the Morganville Vampires. Magic Study by Maria V. Snyder. The Immortal Rules by Julie Kagawa. Fairy Tales and Nightmares by Melissa Marr. This is part of the Wicked Lovely world. Foretold, 14 Stories of Prophecy and Prediction. This is an anthology. It has Stories from Rochelle Mead and Laini Taylor and Meg Cabot and more. Stay by Deb Coletti. Jessica's Guide to Dating on the Dark Side by Beth Fantasky. I really enjoy this book. It's really cute. Jessica Rules The Dark Side by Beth Fantasky. So this is what is behind the books I just showed you. And I'm a little embarrassed, but you guys can make fun of me in the comments later on. And yeah. So I was given a lot of copies of Twilight. This is like a birthday present. It's like a collector's edition. And these are hardback. This is the novella, The Short Second Life of Bree Tanner. This is the graphic novel. I also have a paperback edition of The Host. And then I have a movie Italian edition of Twilight and New Moon. And it's very, very sad. And yeah, we're going to skip over that. And I'll start with these. White Cat by Holly Black. Red Glove by Holly Black. Need by Carrie Jones. Captivate by Carrie Jones. Entice by Carrie Jones. And Endure by Carrie Jones. And then Black Heart by Holly Black. And then I have Will Grayson by John Green and David Levithan. The next one is Ghost Town by Rachel Kane, Fight Club by Rachel Kane, Last Breath, Black Dawn, Fall of Night, and D-Laters, all by Rachel Kane. The last book on the shelf is Speak by Laurie Halse Anderson. So those were the books on that shelf, and I'm going to go ahead and move to this shelf that has some stuff on it. To start off, I did go ahead and go see the Twilight Marathon when the last movie came out, and they gave us these little VIP stuff and this box that has like a shirt and stuff. See, Twilight Marathon. A Hello Kitty that I got from Barnes & Nobles for free. I have no idea. They sent me a package with like 3 Hello Kitties in it, and I don't know why. The first book on the shelf is The Absolute True Diary of a Part-Time Indian by Sherman Alexie. Crave by Melissa Darnell. And I honestly don't know if these are in order. I don't think they are. And then I have Covet by Melissa Darnell. I have Divergent by Veronica Roth, Insurgent by Veronica Roth, and Allegiant by Veronica Roth. Raven by Allison Van Dypen. Bitter Blue by Kristen Kishore. Fire by Kristen Kishore. And Graceling by Kristen Kishore. Again, they're in no particular order, but The Indigo Spell by Rochelle Mead. I have The Fury Heart by Rochelle Mead. This is book 4 in the Bloodline series. Since I just finished showing you Fury Heart, I'm going to start on this side instead of on that side. So, The Golden Lily by Rochelle Mead. This is book 2 and book 1, Bloodlines. Last Sacrifice by Rochelle Mead. This is book 6 in the Vampire Academy series. Then Spirit Bound by Rochelle Mead, which is book 5. I know I'm showing you in reverse, but sorry. Book 4, which is Blood Promise. I recently acquired book 1 in hardback of the Vampire Academy. So this is book 1 by Rochelle Mead. My paperback that I have, the first edition, my friend has it and I have not gotten it back. We have The Reluctant Heiress by Eva Ibbotson. Then I have A Countess Below Stairs by Eva Ibbotson. Blazing the Trail by Deborah Cook. This is the 3rd book in the Dragon Diaries. Winging It by Deborah Cook. This is book 2 in the Dragon Diaries. Flying Blind by Deborah Cook. And this is book 1 in the Dragon Diaries. Book 1 in the Mortal Instruments, City of Bones by Cassandra Clare. Then I have Shadow Kiss by Rochelle Mead. This is book 3 in the Vampire Academy series. This is the original cover before they changed them. I have Frostbite by Rochelle Mead. This is book 2 in the Vampire Academy series. And I have a Arc of the Golden Lily. Here I have City of Bones, the first book in the Mortal Instruments by Cassandra Clare. I have it in paperback like you guys just saw, but I wanted it in hardback to match the rest of my collection, so that's the reason why. And this is the first edition. It has the original blurb. If you guys look at the newer editions, they all have the Stephenie Meyer blurb like City of Glass. That's just like a little flyer that I got a long time ago. Next book is City of Ashes, which is book 2 in the Mortal Instruments by Cassandra Clare. City of Glass, City of Fallen Angels, City of Lost Souls by Cassandra Clare. Next book is The Clockwork Angel. This is the first one in the Infernal Devices. Then I have Clockwork Prince, which is book 2. And this is book 3, The Clockwork Princess in the Infernal Devices. I'm going to move on to the next one down, which is this shelf. This is the 4th shelf down. And again, no rhyme or reason to my shelves, and there are some knickknacks that I will take off right now so that I can go ahead and show you. So I have some wine glasses. I have another Hello Kitty that I got for free. This is my TBR jar. This is another camera I own, and a picture of me and my boyfriend. So let me move those so I can show you the books. Okay, so I'm going to start on this side. Racing Savannah by Miranda Kennelly. This is book 4. I want to say in the 100 Oaks series. I could be wrong, but you'll see a little note on the corner or something letting you guys know if I'm wrong. This is book 3, Things I Can't Forget. Book 2, Stealing Parker. And book 1, Catching Jordan by Miranda Kennelly. Wicked Lovely by Melissa Marr. This is book 1 in the series. Then I have Ink Exchange, which is book 2. Book 3, which is Fragile Eternity. Book 4, which is Radiant Shadows. And book 5, Darkest Mercy by Melissa Marr. These are the books that were behind the ones I just showed you. Frozen by Melissa De La Cruz and Michael Johnston. Blue Bloods by Melissa De La Cruz. This is book 1 in the series. Then I have Masquerade by Melissa De La Cruz. This is book 2. Revelations, book 3. 4, The Van Allen Legacy. 5, Misguided Angel. Book 6, Lost in Time. And the 7th and final book in the first cycle of the Blue Bloods is Gates of Paradise. The Lucky One by Nicholas Sparks. Between by Jessica Warman. I have a little bracelet that I got when I saw Melissa Marr, and it says High Court. And if you read the series before, you understand why. The next book is Carrier of the Mark by Lee Fallon. The Duff, The Designated Ugly Fat Friend by Cody Keplinger. Shut Out by Cody Keplinger. Forbidden by Tabitha Suzuma. This is Hush Hush by Becca Fitzpatrick. This is book 1 in the Hush Hush saga. This is Crescendo, book 2. Silence, book 3. And Finale, which is book 4. The next book is Forever by Judy Blume. 20 Boy Summer by Sarah Ockler. The Fault in Our Stars by John Green. The next book is Beautiful Creatures by Cami Garcia and Margaret Stoll. Beautiful Darkness, which is book 2. Book 3 is Beautiful Chaos. And Beautiful Redemption is book 4. So I put all my books back on this shelf, and we're going to go ahead and move on to this shelf that has beautiful, beautiful books and some CDs. They are not blank, there's stuff on them, and some tape, some other junk up here. Let's see. There's a big Merry Christmas kind of foam thing that I got. A magazine that we don't need to look at. I'm going to remove that stuff and show you what the books are. Reveal, this is book 11 in the House of Night series by PC Cast and Kristen Cast. 10, Hidden. Destined, book 9 in the House of Night. Awaken, which is book 8. Book 7, Burned. book 6, Tempted, and book 5, Hunted. On to my favorite series, guys. So this is The Black Dagger Brotherhood, an Insider's Guide. It has a lot of extras, and it's by J.R. Ward. Book 1 is Dark Lover. Book 2 is Lover Internal. Book 3 is Lover Awakened. Book 4 is Lover Revealed. Book 5 is Lover Unbound. Book 7 is Lover Avenged. Book 8, Lover Mine. Book 9, Lover Unleashed. Book 10, Lover Reborn. Book 11 is Lover at Last. And then I have Game Board of the Gods by Rochelle Mead. What I Love About You, this is a book that I've been working on for my boyfriend. So the books that were behind the ones I just showed you are these that I am going to go ahead and show you. This is Blue Moon by Alison Noel. This is book 2 in the Immortals, and it's not with the rest of the books that it should be, so sorry. This is Bridget's Quest by PC Cash. This is a spin-off from her adult series that I will show you in a bit. This is Alphame's Choice, which is book 1 in the spin-off by PC Cast. Divine by Mystique by PC Cast. This is book 1 in the Partholone series. I don't even know if I'm saying that right, but this is where the spin-off comes from. Divine by Choice by PC Cast. And Divine by Blood by PC Cast. This is the last book in the trilogy. Then I have Betrayed. This is the second book in the House of Night series by PC Cast and Kristen Cast. Chosen, which is book 3. And Untamed, this is book 4 in the House of Night. Okay, so these books that I'm gonna go ahead and show you, I like the story a lot. Like, they're really good, but I hate the covers because it makes it look so bad, and they're not. I swear they're not, but I will go ahead and show you. Okay, so this is book 1, To Serve and Submit by Susan Wright. The second book is A Pound of Flesh by Susan Wright. I don't know, but I swear it's not as bad as all of this makes it seem. The next book is Another Faust by Daniel and Dina Nayeri. The Hunger Games by Suzanne Collins. This is book 1 in the Hunger Games. Fire, book 2 in the Hunger Games. And this is book 3, Mockingjay. Next book is Shadowland by Alison Noel. This is book 3 in the Immortals series. 4, and that's called Dark Flame in the Immortals series. Book 5 is Nightstar. And book 6 is Everlasting. The next book I have is Tender Morsels by Margot Lanigan. Halo by Alexandra Adornetto. I don't know if I'm saying this right. This is book 1, I guess, in the Halo trilogy. Don't know what it's really called. Book 2 is Hades. And the final book in the trilogy is Heaven. Next, I have Radiance. This is book 1 in the Riley Bloom series. It's a spin-off from the Immortals. Riley is Ever's little sister. Book 2, Shimmer in the Riley Bloom series. Before I Fall by Lauren Oliver. Then I have Delirium by Lauren Oliver. This is the original cover until they changed them. I do like this cover because if you take off the jacket, it looks like this. So this is what it looks like without the jacket on there, and I don't know, she just looks really pretty to me. I like her makeup. Then I have Pandemonium, which is book 2. 3 in the Delirium trilogy is Requiem. Now we're gonna go ahead and move down to this section. Vampire Huntress, Dawn and Darkness Volume 1. This is a compilation of comic books by L.A. Banks. This is part of the Vampire Huntress series, which I'll show you those books later. Next, I have Balthazar by Claudia Gray. This is part of the Evernight series. Then I have book 4 in the Wings series. It's Destined by April Lynn Pike. Book 3 is Illusions. Book 2 is Spells, and book 1 is Wings. Next, I have The Demon's Surrender by Sarah Reese Brennan. This is book 3 in the Demon's Lexicon. Book 2 is The Demon's Covenant, and Book 1 is The Demon's Lexicon by Sarah Reese Brennan. I have some bookmarkers that I'm going to move. The Dark Divine by Brie Despain. This is Book 1. Book 2 is The Lost Soul, and Book 3, The Savage Grace. Nantucket Blue by Lila Howland. Prodigy by Marie Lu. This is Book 2 in the Legend trilogy. 1 Legend by Marie Lu. Then I have Fallen by Lauren Kate. This is Book 1 in the series. Then this is Book 2, Torment. 3 is Passion. Fallen in Love is a novella. It happens in between Book 3 and Book 4. And Book 4, Rapture by Lauren Kate. Next, I have Going Too Far by Jennifer Eccles. Forget You by Jennifer Eccles. This is Champion by Marie Lu. This is Book 3 in the Legend trilogy. A Midsummer's Nightmare by Cody Keplinger. Carnival of Souls by Melissa Marr. The Truth About Forever by Sarah Dessen. Delirium Stories. It has Hannah, Annabelle, and Raven by Lauren Oliver. Sing Me to Sleep by Angela Morrison. Stolen by Lucy Christopher. These are the books that were behind the ones I just showed you. The first book is Dark Goddess. This is Book 2 in a Devil's Kiss duology so far. I don't know if there's another book, but it's by Surat Shada. This is Book 1, The Devil's Kiss by Surat Shada. This is Generation Dead by Daniel Waters. Kiss of Life. This is Book 2 in the Generation Dead series by Daniel Waters. 3, Passing Strange by Daniel Waters. The Summoning by Kelly Armstrong. This is Book 1 in the Darkest Powers series. Book 2 is The Awakening in the Dark Powers series by Kelly Armstrong. The Reckoning. This is Book 3 by Kelly Armstrong. Next I have Thirst. This is Volume 1. It has Human Urges and Fatal Consequences by Christopher Pike. Thirst, Volume 2, Deepest Desires and Instant Remorse. Society of S by Suzanne Hubert. This is a vampire novel. This is The Year of Disappearances by Susan Hubert. This is Book 2, and the series I think is called An Ethical Vampire Novel. Tempestuous by Leslie Livingston. This is Book 3 in the Wondrous Strange series. Dark Light by Leslie Livingston. This is Book 2. And this is Wondrous Strange by Leslie Livingston. This is Book 1. Evernight by Claudia Gray. This is Book 1 in the series. Book 2 is Stargazer. Book 3 is Hourglass. And the final book is Afterlife. Bliss by Lauren Miracle. Anatomy of a Boyfriend by Daria Sandowski. Immortal Love Stories with a Bite. This is an anthology that is edited by PC Cast. I have Eternal More Love Stories with a Bite. This is the second anthology. Light by Rachel Hawthorne. This is Book 1 in the Dark Guardian series. It's about werewolves. Book 2 is Full Moon. Book 3 is Dark of the Moon. And Book 4 is Shadow of the Moon. Silver Kiss by Annette Curtis Klaus. This is a vampire book, and it does include 2 short stories with it. So if you've read it before, the short stories kind of give you a little bit more after the ending. Tantalized by Cynthia Leach Smith. This is Book 1. Eternal. This is Book 2 in the Tantalized series. Blessed is Book 3. And Diabolical is Book 4. This is my 7th shelf that I'm going to go ahead and show you what's in front as well as what's in back. The first book is Rape Girl by Alina Klein that's on the shelf. Then I have The Space Between by Brenna Jovanoff. Next I have Angel Burn by L.A. Weatherly. This is Angel Fire by L.A. Weatherly. Next I have The Vampire Diaries The Return Volume 3 Midnight by L.J. Smith. Book 2 is Shadow Souls, and Book 1 is The Return Nightfall. This is just a little stylus for my Nook that obviously I never use because it's still in the box. And then I have Angel Fall by Susan E. This is Book 1, and I can never remember the name of the series, but this is Book 1. Sweet Evil by Wendy Higgins. This is Book 1. Then I have Sweet Peril, which is Book 2. This is The Farm by Emily McKay. In Between by Tara Fuller. This is Book 1. Book 2 is Blurred. Next I have The Iron King by Julie Kagawa. This is book 1 in the Iron Fae series. The Iron Daughter, which is book 2. The Iron Queen, book 3. And this is The Iron Knight, book 4. The Iron Legends by Julie Kagawa. This is a compilation of all of the novellas that have come out. Yes, right there. Then I have The Lost Prince by Julie Kagawa. This is, I don't know if it's a spin-off or if this is supposed to be book 5 because it does say The Iron Fae, Call of the Forgotten. But yeah, if you guys know if this is book 1 in a spin-off or book 5, let me know in the comments down below. Then I have The Iron Trader by Julie Kagawa. Next I have How I Live Now by Meg Rosoff, and I just saw the movie and I really enjoyed it, even with the differences that were made between the book and the movie. The Eagle of the Ninth, this is book 1 in the Roman Britannian trilogy by Rosemary Sutcliffe. I know that this book was made into a movie that was called The Eagle with Channing Tatum, and I do like history, so this is why I picked it up. Book 2 is The Silver Branch, and book 3 is The Lantern Bearers. Next I have After Obsession by Carrie Jones and Stephen E. Welder, whatever. When the Stars Go Blue by Caridad Ferrer. This is Leaving Paradise by Simone Alcalis. This is book 1 in a duology. Book 2 is Return to Paradise. Perfect Chemistry by Simone Alcalis. This is book 1 in a trilogy. Book 2, Rules of Attraction. 3, Chain Reaction. And then this is Wild Cards. This is book 1 in a new series by Simone Alcalis. Now I'm going to show you what's behind the books I just showed you. This is Gone by Lisa McMahon. This is book 3 in the Wake trilogy. Then I have Forbidden Game by L.J. Smith. This is a bind-up with 3 stories of the hunter, the chase, and the kill. Then I have Dark Visions by L.J. Smith. This is another bind-up that has 3 stories: The Strange Power, The Possessed, and The Passion. This is another bind-up. This is Night Worlds Volume 3, which includes Huntress, Black Dawn, and Witchlight by L.J. Smith. Volume 2 of Night Worlds includes Dark Angel, The Chosen, and Soulmate. Volume 1 includes Secret Vampire, Daughters of Darkness, and Spellbinder. The Vampire Diaries, Stefan's Diaries, Volume 1, Origins by... This one is based off of the show on the CW, so I have not read them. These were given to me, if I'm not mistaken. I can't remember. It was such a long time ago that I've not read them, but I have this one. I have Volume 2, Bloodlust, and this one, Volume 3, I purchased it because it was $1. Even though the price says 2 up there, but it cost me, I think, $1. And this one is The Craving. I have After Midnight by Lynn Beale. This is a young adult book about werewolves, if I'm not mistaken. I have only read Lynn Beale's adult stuff. I have not gone into the young adult yet. This is book 2, Dead of Night. Next I have With All My Soul by Rachel Vincent. This is the 7th and final book in the Soul Screamers series. 6th, Before I Wake. This is book 5, If I Die. 4, My Soul to Steal. 3, My Soul to Keep. And book 1 and 2, I Lend Them Out. Next I have The Secret Circle, The Initiation, and The Captive Part 1. This is The Vampire Diaries, The Awakening, and The Struggle, book 1 and 2 by L.J. Smith. And this is The Vampire Diaries, book 3 and 4, The Fury and Dark Reunion. People Like Us Live by Patricia Cumby. I have Birth of the Pack by Petra Popescu. Deep Kiss of Winter, and this is a holiday collection with The Bite by Creasley Cole and Jenna Showalter. Creasley Cole has a short story from her Immortals After Dark series, and Jenna Showalter has a novella from her Alias Huntress series in here. Next I have Street Farm by Alison Van Dypen, The Vampire Stalker by Alison Van Dypen, A Note of Madness by Tabitha Suzuma. This is book 1 in the duology. A Voice in the Distance is book 2. And this one is Without Looking Back by Tabitha Suzma. This one I am super intrigued to read. The son doesn't know that he was actually being kidnapped by his father. A box series that I have not opened, like the plastic is still there, but these are the Maze Runner, the Scourge Trials, and the Death Cure. This are the UK version of the books. Oh, there they are. That's what they look like. As soon as I open it, you guys will probably see it in a wrap-up this year. My next box set is 50 Shades Trilogy by E.L. James. I have read these, but this was a Christmas present in 2012 because I only own them in ebook. And it has 50 Shades of Grey, 50 Shades Darker, and 50 Shades Freed. So, yeah. So my 8th shelf is this one. I'm going to go ahead and show you these books and what is behind them as well. Okay, so the first book I have on this shelf is City of Bones by Cassandra Clare. This is the movie tie-in cover, and yes, I have a lot of copies of City of Bones. Next, I have The Outsiders by S.E. Hinton. This is Anything He Wants by Sarah Fawkes. It's a romance book, don't judge. Iona by Alison Goodman. This is book 2. And I have Eon by Alison Goodman. This is If He Had Been With Me by Laura Nowlin, something like that. Dragonwood by Janet Lee Carey. Keeping You a Secret by Julie Ann Peters. Salvation by Anna Osterlin. This is The Season of Risks by Susan Hubert. This is book 3 in the Ethical Vampire series. Ruby Red by Kirsten Gear. While He Was Away by Karen Schreck. On Dublin Street by Samantha Young. Down London Road by Samantha Young. Fire Study by Maria V. Snyder. The Distance Between Us by Cassie West. Easy by Tamara Weber. Looking for Alaska by John Green. Deep in the Woods by Chris Marie Green. This is book 6 in the Vampire Babylon series. Book 5, The Path of Razors. Prophecy of the Sisters by Michelle Zink. This is book 1. Guardian of the Gate. This is book 2. The Graveyard Book by Neil Gaiman. I really like this book. A Beautiful Wedding by Jamie McGuire. This is a novella in the Beautiful Disaster world. Walking Disaster by Jamie McGuire. Beautiful Disaster by Jamie McGuire. Bad Blood by Marie Mancusi. This is book 4 in the Blood Coven series. Book 5 is Night School. Book 6 is Blood Ties. 7 is Soulbound. And book 8 is Blood Forever. So Death, Doom, and Detention by Darnetta Jones. I don't know if I'm saying that right, but this is book 1 in a series. Book 2 is Death and the Girl Next Door. Book 3 is Death and the Girl He Loves. Then I have Sweet Valley Confidential 10 Years Later by Francine Pascal. I have Heartbreakers by Pamela Wells. This is an arc of Falling Under by Gwen Hayes. He's Just Not That Into You by those people. Is it focusing? Okay, there you go. Next I have Thirst number 3. This is The Internal Dawn by Christopher Pike. Thirst, The Shadow of Death, and this is by Christopher Pike as well. I have Fallen, Forsaken. This is number 4 by Thomas E. Snagowski. Book 3 is End of Days. The Fallen, number 2 is Airy and Reckoning. I don't know if I'm saying that right. And number 1 is Fallen and Leviathan. Next I have The Pearl of the Soul of the World. This is book 3 of the Dark Angel trilogy by Meredith Ann Pierce. And I read these years ago. Book 2 is A Gathering of Gargoyles. And book 1 is The Dark Angel. Next I have The Ark of the Krishes by Pamela Wells. This is a Heartbreakers novel. Next I have Animal Instincts by Jenna Showalter. Enslave Me Sweetly by Jenna Showalter. This is book 2 in the Alien Huntress series. And book 1 is Awaken Me Darkly. Next I have Break of Dawn by Chris Marie Green. This is book 4 in the Vampire Babylon series. 3 is A Drop of Red. 2 is Midnight Rain. Book 1 is Night Rising. This is The Darkness by L.A. Banks. This is part of the Vampire Huntress series. This is book 10. Book 11 is The Shadows, and book 12 is The 13th. Next, I have Night Runner by Max Turner. This is a vampire book. Next, I have Blood Rain by Faith Hunter. This is a urban fantasy about a post-apocalyptic world where we know about angels. The Host is book 2, and book 3 are Seraphs. Bond of Fire, this is book 1 in the Texas Vampire series by Diane Whiteside. Book 2 is Bound of Darkness. The Hunter's Prey it has novellas and prequels to the Texas Vampire series by Diane Whiteside. And book 3 is Bond of Blood. Next, I have Blacklist by Jenna Showalter. Red-Handed, this is book 2 by Jenna Showalter. Next, I have Oh My Goth by Jenna Showalter. The Pretty Little Devils by Nancy Holder. And I love this book. I read it years ago, but the ending was WTF. This is Boys That Bite by Marie Mancusi. This is book 1 in the Blood Coven series. I don't like the original covers. I do need to find them in the newer cover to match the rest of my collection. 2 is Stake That, and book 3 are Girls That Growl. So this is the final shelf that I have on this bookshelf that has a bunch of little paperbacks that I am going to go ahead and show you, and more than likely it's going to descend from a big number to a little number because I have no idea why I shelved them that way, but that's what I did. First, I have Destiny Kills by Carrie Arthur. This is book 1 in a duology so far. Book 8, Bound to Shadows by Carrie Arthur. This is in the Riley Jensen series. This is one of my favorites. 7 is The Deadly Desire. 6 is The Darkest Kiss. 5 is Embraced by Darkness. 4 is Dangerous Schemes. 3 is Tempting Evil. 2 is Kissing Sin. 1 is Full Moon Rising. This is Moonsworn. This is actually the 9th and final book in the Riley Jensen series by Carrie Arthur. Mercy Burns by Carrie Arthur. This is book 2 in that duology I was mentioned earlier. Darkness Unbound by Carrie Arthur. This is book 1 in the Dark Angels series. 2 is Darkness Rising. Then I have Beauty by Robin McKinley. This is a fairy tale retelling of Beauty and the Beast. I have not read it yet. Then I have Flowers in the Attic by V.C. Andrews. This is book 1 in a series. 2 is Petals on the Wind. 3 is If There Be Thorns. 4 is Seeds of Yesterday. 5 is Gardens of Shadows. Midnight Awakened by Laura Adrian. This is book 3 in the Midnight Braid series. This is the only one that I own. I have the rest in ebook. Even this one. This is just like 25 cents and I couldn't leave it there at the store. I have Unknown by Rachel Kane. I think this is book 2. Yes, book 2 in the Outcast seasons. I have not read it. Book 1 either. Next, I have Glass Houses by Rachel Kane. This is book 1 in the Morganville Vampire series. 2 is The Dead Girls Dance. 3 is Midnight Alley. 4 is Feast of Fools. 5 is Lord of Misrule. 6 is Carpe Corpus. 7 is Fade Out. And 8 is Kiss of Death. And yeah, I think I need another copy of this one. I don't know what happened to it. I think it got stuck to the shelf. I think it wasn't done being dried when my uncle originally told me that my shelf was done being built. So, poor book took the pain of it. I have While My Pretty Ones Sleep by Mary Higgins Clark. Nighttime is My Time by Mary Higgins Clark. Before I Say Goodbye by Mary Higgins Clark. I'll Walk Alone by Mary Higgins Clark. Next, I have Lover Enshrined by J.R. Ward. This is book 6 in the Black Dagger Brotherhood series. I have The Darkest Night by Jenna Showalter. This is book 1 in the Lords of the Underworld. I have 2 copies of this because my friend's brother had this copy hostage forever and I never thought I was going to get it back, so I bought another one. The Restorer by Amanda Stevens. This is, I think, book 1 in the Graveyard Queen series. Have not read it yet. Next, I have Guilty Pleasures by Laurel K. Hamilton. This is book 1 in the Anita Blake Vampire Hunter series. 2 is The Laughing Corpse. 3 is Circus of the Damned. 4 is The Lunatic Cafe. 5 is Bloody Bones. And book 6 is The Killing Dance. I think if I'm not mistaken, there's like 21 books out. So it's one of the reasons why I haven't read them. Because I know myself, if I read 1 through 6, I'm going to want to pick up 7 through 20 plus numbers out there. And we'll never read young adult. Next, I have I Heard That Song Before by Mary Higgins Clark. I have No Place Like Home by Mary Higgins Clark. I think this is one of my favorites besides All Around the Town. Original Sin by Allison Brennan. This is book 1 in the 7 Deadly Sins series, I think is what it's called. 2 is Carnal Sin, Jacob by Jacqueline Frank. This is book 1 in the Nightwalkers. 2 is Gideon. 3 is Elijah. 4 is Demon. 5 is Noah. This is my least favorite in the series. Book 6 is Adam, and this one kind of redeemed the series for me. Ecstasy, book 1 in the Shadow Dwellers. 2 is Rapture. And book 3 is Pleasure. Sunshine by Robin McKinley, and I really like this story. Demon's Kiss is by Eve Silver. This is book 1 in the Compact of Sorcerers series, something like that. 2 is Demon's Hunger. Edge of Hunger by Rhiannon Bird. I don't know. This is book 1 in the Primal Instincts series. 2 is Edge of Hunger. And book 3 is Edge of Desire. And if I haven't mentioned it earlier, most of these are paranormal romance. Next, I have You're So Vain by Christine Warren. This is part of the Others series. Lover's Bite by Maggie Shawn. This is book 13 in the Wings of the Night series. I read them so out of placement because I did not know that, but this is book 13. Book 14 is Demon's Kiss. Book 15 is Angel's Peen. Next, I have Catch a Mate by Jenna Showalter. I think this is one of her only contemporary romance reads. Like, there's nothing of paranormal in this, but it is fun and quirky. Really enjoyed it. Heart of Darkness. This is an anthology from stories from Jenna Showalter, Maggie Shawn, and Susan Kernard. This one is On the Hunt, and this is also an anthology by Jenna Showalter, Shannon K. Butcher, Jessica Anderson, and Deidre Knight. Love at First Bite. This is another anthology from Ellie Banks, Susan Squires, Rhonda Thompson, and Sherlyn Kenyon. I don't know if I said that right, but I've only read the Ellie Banks one. This is Minion by Ellie Banks. This is book 1 in the Vampire Huntress series. 2 is The Awakening. Book 3 is The Hunted. 4 is The Bitten. 5 is The Forbidden. 6 is The Damned. 7 is The Forsaken. 8 is The Wicked. 9 is The Curse. So there you go, guys. Those are all the books on this bookshelf that you guys are used to seeing in my videos. I hope you enjoyed it. Let me know what you thought of part 1 of the bookshelf tour down in the comments down below. You guys have a great day, and I'll talk to you soon. Bye!